Tanto.
Car is off this time.
Okay, thank you. Cześć.
The first is it's an honor to play against this important team. But today is a new game. Zaksa is a new team, and we have to do risk a lot because Zaksa, we know very well the strength of us in breakpoint and side out. This part of championship is very difficult because there is Zaksa and Perugia, but we are happy to play today, and I hope that my team will play good.
I think we are very well prepared tactically, technically, and again, both teams know each other very well, and what again, classic, one rally at a time, service, reception, then fighting, block and defense with different tactical situations.
Dobrze, wszystko dobrze. Elegancko.
Nel buco, sempre, con sempre l'angolone da seconda linea. Se invece la palla è più morbida, da prima linea esco anche indietro.
Not looking good for camera.
Dlaczego?
Nie, no bo episkopat dzisiaj wydał oświadczenie jakieś kontrowersyjne w sprawie pedofilii. No nie?
Trzeba.
Nie no, zdecydowanie trzeba. No.
Albo bez ostrości.
Ale weź mnie jak jest
Mamy taki czarny pasoczek na oczy.
To włosy poprawić. A tam proszę pokazać tamtego.
Get out, man. Oh God.
Well, it's CEV Champions League volleyball time. It's a big one from the Azoty Hall in KŁDZIERZYN-KOďLE as a repeat of the previous two CEV Champions League volleyball finals come together in the quarters. Well, it's a two-legged tie that will help define a successful season for two clubs at the summit of European club volleyball. Grupa Azoty KŁDZIERZYN-KOďLE, Zaksa up against Trentino Itas in what will be an incredible two-legged affair. Louis Lett with you in the commentary booth as we have a look at the quarterfinals. Already Halkbank Ankara have beaten Cicune Lube Civitanova 3-1 in the first leg, and now it's time for a huge match. Zaksa, Trentino with the return opening next Thursday, and for the likes of Berlin, the unbeaten Perugia in Serie A, Friedrichshafen, and also Szeszewski Wiegel, they will be this game closely, knowing that one of the two favourites will be going home at the quarter-final stage. It's often that luck of the draw is unfair, but to win this incredible competition, you have to be at your very, very best, and there's only the best left at the moment. Tonight is a huge test for both teams, one that could set them up for glory in Turin in May. My word, what an evening we have. Alessandro Micheletto warming up. These teams have already played each other numerous times, not only in the past two finals, but twice already this season in Group D. Both of those games going the way of Trentino, and for Zaksa, when they lost away in Italy, it was the first loss away in the Champions League for 17 matches. Yes, it's a star-studded affair. Yes, you don't want to go anywhere. Well, Zaksa had to go the long way to meet Trentino once again, and Trentino blessed in talented middles. That man in your picture, one of two incredible Serbian middles, Marko Podraščanin, played in 2007 and will once again go in to bat in the middle this evening with Sreko Lisniac, his middle companion for Serbia for many a years, almost 90 medals between them domestically and internationally. But we know years ago they played in the league against Padova, so there might be some achy legs and some physical tiredness amongst them, but they will be up for the big games, and they know that mentally they might just have the edge over Zaksa, having beaten them here already this season. Well, Trentino haven't won this competition since 2010-2011. They won it 3 times in a row from 2008, 2009 through to 2010-2011. For Zaksa, well, they were the first ever Polish team to win the Champions League, and then they won it back to back. They're looking to win it for a 3rd time, which would be very special under 3 different coaches, but it's only Trentino and Zenit Kazan that have won it back to back to back. Well, Eric Shoji, we know for many years he's been at the very top of the sport, the libero. Certainly will start tonight. He started in all of the big games so far for Zaksa. But they have a little bit of added depth to their roster. If you have a look at Trentino, Maciej Kaziski won all 3 of Trentino's Champions League titles in a row, 2008 to 11. Nelly could play as an opposite. Alessandro Micheletto, watch out, 21, the boy won 42 points against Zaksa in those 2 fixtures earlier on in the Champions League season. Daniele Lavia will start on the outside. Podrashin and Lizniak, my word, they are world class, as are Zaksa. Lukasz Kaczmarek, that battle against Micheletto will be very, very interesting. Marcin Janusz, also another one who played in the squad last year. Kaczmarek played in the last 2. Bartosz Bednarz has just joined the team recently, having been playing in China and in Russia. Slivka, the left-hander, on the outside. Another big Polish international weapon. There is Micheletto, the man himself, just 21 years old, part of this young Italian onslaught of talents, and Bartosz Bednarz will be the only changing fixture to the first time that these 2 teams played in the Champions League. Will provide a lot more physicality on the wing, and it might just be the difference for them this evening. Bednarz, part of a Shanghai team that included Osmane, one trainer this season, and before that playing his volleyball in Kazan. Well, Bednarz knows all about the big games, doesn't he? Came second with Shanghai, but also won the Russian Cup 2 years at Modena as well, and won the bronze in this competition with Zenit in 2021. Oh, here we go. It's a huge game. Zaksa versus Trentino, the first of 2 legs in 9 days to see who will be going through to the final 4 of the CEV Champions League. Of course, there's a crowd. Polish fans love their volleyball. And there's no bigger stage than this. Zaksa looking to go 3 from 3. Trentino looking to win their first Champions League campaign since 2011. Nikola Gerbic played all 3 of those championships for Trentino and actually led Zaksa to that first Champions League victory in 2020. Lots of links between the 2 sides, but something this evening has to give between these 2 Europeans, or European giants. Well, last year's final, Kaczmarek scored 13 points. Smith retained 9. Remember, Semeniuk went to Perugia after winning his 2nd straight Champions League. Slivka retained on the outside, and Janusz as well. Kaziski, Micheletto, Spatoli, Podrashin and Lizniak, all part of that first 6 who took silver for Trentino. It's not been the perfect start for Zaksa, having already lost 3 matches in this Champions League campaign. But at this moment, those losses mean nothing as they go back into battle here this evening. Trentino haven't lost since the finals last year. Well, the anthems followed by the final handshakes. Who will take the opening leg of this quarter-final? It's going to be a very, very close matchup from start to finish. Zaksa and Trentino fans will be biting their nails, but for the neutral, this will be phenomenal. Our referees for this evening's matchup, Salvis Kurlitis and Victor Alexandra Gonzalez from Latvia and Portugal respectively. It'll be interesting to see if there's any surprises to the first six. You would say absolutely not. You would expect to see Janusz and Kaczmarek team up for Zaksa. Expect to see Micheletto start with Spatoli for Trentino. They've used pretty much their first sixes the whole way through this Champions League campaign. Zaksa managed to rest a few against Averci in the round of 6 playoffs after they'd already confirmed their route to the quarterfinals, having won the away leg 3-0. They won the opening set to confirm their place in this tie. Goes Zaksa from the crowd. They're going to need absolutely every single one of the supporters to get through this tie this evening. Well, Trentino will be introduced first, as there's no surprises to my eyes. Spatoli starting, Micheletto starting, Podrashinin starting, Lisniak also in the first six. It's going to be a very physical starting lineup. Both teams have 8 of their squads over 2 meters tall. We have confirmation. Navia, Micheletto on the outside. My word, they're strong there. Kaczynski will start as the opposite as we meet Zaksa playing at home for the opening leg before travelling to Trento next week. Start, David Smith, no surprise there, bronze medalist from 2016 Olympic Games, but also there's his fellow countryman Eric Stroji. A big evening needed for him. Slivka starting, Lukas Kaczmarek starting as well, Bartosz Bednarz on the outside. This is going to be some game as Dmitry Krajicki starting number 19 in the middle with David Smith. Well, there is the experienced head coach of Trentino, Angelo Lorenzetti, who was saying that it would be tough to play 48 hours afterwards, but there's a new Canadian coach as well as Zaksa coach Tuomas Sumilevo, also been coaching in Russia as of late. What a journey he's been on through the Canadian national team, then in St. Petersburg, also coaching Russia for 3 years as well. The hard hitters are in town, a repeat of the previous 2 Champions League finals. There's a quarter-final this season between 2 absolute heavyweights. We are underway for the opening leg of this quarter-final. It's an opening point for Zaksa, playing in the white jerseys on the right of your screen. Trentino in blue. The noise deafening in here as David Smith, part of the last 2, has exercised the lifting trophy, gets us underway through the pipe early on. Lovely place, but only then goes back to the opposite, and it's a big one from Kaczynski. did a good job to get two up, but Kazicki just draws it past the inside hand. 38 years old now, Kazicki, but as good as ever, an absolute legend. Blocked, but out the back. Rushing in, goes with the middle. Kazicki this time on the left side beat. Oh, interesting starts to this one. Micheletto. And for the left-hander, 2-11 on the wing. Perfect set from Spatoli. A little bit off the net, but there's a seam in between the two blockers. Help yourself, Micheletto. 207 centimetres, 41 points in those two matches. And it's Kazicki with an ace for Trentino. Kazicki absolutely rips the back line. It's very close, but another big serve to a similar area, but this time out the back. Perfect start from Trentino. Kazicki, 2 for him so far, was pulled off the block earlier on as well. 9 different clubs in a 24-year career. It's his second stint for Trentino as Bartosz Bednarz, who's had an interesting season going through Russia to Shanghai, now in Poland. Lorenzetti saying that his opposition's outside spike has blended perfectly, and it's Slivka playing on the front court, who makes a big stuffy. It's a one-on-one situation. Well, in those two fixtures in Pool D, Trentino certainly won the battle of the outside. Big play. Chases on. Free ball from Slivka. Chance for Spatoli. Goes back on the 10 attack to Kazicki. Twice in a row he's fed the ball through the 10. Second time lucky for the Bulgarian. Big play. High ball first of all. What a touch that is. On the backcourt from Bednarz. But second time of asking. Free ball really. And a one-on-one through the seam. Spatoli using the 10 attack on the free ball. Wise when he's used that man there, Micheletto, through the first phase of the game. Micheletto from the service line for the first time. Passes slightly off the net. No middle this time. Slivka smuggles one past the outside hand of Spatoli. Kazicki beaten. It's a calm before the storm. Spatoli leaves a Slivka. Slivka sees it perfectly. Well, there's a few things in this game. The battles in the middle and the outside. Quadrashin and Lisniak. Quadrashin has been the 3-time best blocker in the Champions League, but never won this competition, which I find crazy. Hammer. There's some good work from Zaksa at the moment. The reception is absolutely pinpoint. Slivka 2 from 2. Kazicki caught standing. Spatoli beaten down that line again. Well, Lorenzetti saying that Bednarz has started blending with this Zaksa team well, and he's playing perfectly tonight. What a play that is. Opportunity in transition. It's a little bit tight, having to go off the block. Lavia. Chance for Slivka out of system. That's smart from Slivka. We've seen him go with the hammer, with the sliver to the line. This time, he knows the odds are against him, and he has to just go off speed, off the top of the hands. That was the first one. Then we get to see it again, especially as he got into block there. The footwork off the ball was incredible, and the fast volley off the hands, smart. Micheletto serves. Wondering if that's going to be something we see a lot this evening as they try and disrupt Trentino's main weapon. Another one goes the way of Zaksa here. This is a wonderful start to a big, big game. Passes been exemplary so far. Bartosz Bednarz and Slivka certainly look ready to party. Was there a touch there? Was the pancake successful? The answer is no. Micheletto through the pipe. Bosh! Shoji says my bad, but I'd say he's done pretty well here to adjust into a good position off the ball to even get a touch on that one. Second tempo attack. Difficult when you see Lizniak go flying in on the first tempo. And then Micheletto come firing after. Micheletto leaves to Tony. Goes back to Lavia. Looking for a touch shot to the top of the block. Not this time. Well, he certainly has the best of the pool stage. He's here looking for what he said is the best possible result. Obviously, he knows fair well that even with a loss, his team can go through next week if they better the performance at home. So every set at this stage so key with golden sets available. There's nothing between the two teams in terms of set difference next week. Someone who is coming through the Italian ranks, Italy. I mean, have so much talent at their disposal. Micheletto from the right, shut down. And Zaksa fully aware that they have the momentum at this moment in time. A monster block against Micheletto. Bednarz has been in the thick of it. Micheletto might want that one a little bit tighter. Communicating with his setter. Smith once more. Oh, everything's going Zaksa's way. Smith puts his hand up, but sure he's not too sorry. Big deflection off the net band. Dips and ducks and dives down. And 11-7. Zaksa are having everything their own way early days in this quarterfinals.
Tranquilli lì, ci manca difesa su Kasmarek ragazzi, ok? Quella diagonale lunga da prima linea la andiamo a prendere, con il 6, perché le palle in mezzo le prende l'1, va bene? Via, vai!
Big turning point. Smith serve. 8 points in Trentino, 11 points at home. Trentino in that 3-2 loss in Group B. Just 5 points against Zawerci, but this is his 4th Polish club. He's played in Poland since 2016 with 4 blocking awards so far. More blocking. And this is a big, big difference for Zaksa. Bednarz providing not only defensive and passing stability, but blocking prowess as well. That's his 2nd against Kazitsky and Micheletto in very quick fashion. Buckle on up. Zaksa look like they're here to perform. Levi said himself that he feels that they performed, or they prepared, perfectly for this one. And their performance to go with it. So far, so good. But this time, there's an actual 37 medals across international, European, Polish Italian, German and Serbian leagues. Champions League points for Kaczmarek before this game. Scored 21 points alongside Nicoletto in the game here earlier on in the season. Good from Levere and perfect work through the centre. A bit of a snatch from Horashin, but very good change of speed to go off the top of the hands. Passing so far from Zaksa, very good this evening. Middle. For a middle was Pajinski. Play for Gdansk, St. Petersburg, Kamarevo, Khan and Tallinn. Gets his first attack points of this quarter-final matchup. 205 Pajinski, so same height as Lisniak, but 204 Quadrashny, just 1 centimetre smaller. Nicoletto back in business. Forgetting that Zaksa have Norbert Huber on the bench as well. He joined from the scrum, but was the best middle blocker in the league last season. He's 207. Nicoletto needing to try and find a runner serves to get Trentino back competing in this opening set. Fast play, very, very quick work through that 10 from Lucas Kaczmarek, not giving Trentino much time to set up here. High pass followed by a quick set, pushing the middle blocker laterally all the way and opening up a seam between the block. Love that work from them on the 10 attack. Speed is this time. Kaczynski back into the cross body hammer. Second time we've seen that swing from Kaczynski when it just sits up beautifully across him. Spatoli just holding the middle for long enough, having used it moments ago with Konrashkin and Lisniak. More than they can both invest in the middle early doors, the more chances of one-on-ones and finding gaps between the block. And talking of gaps between the block, I think that Slivka just found one perfectly. 117 points in the Champions League before this evening. What a signing he's been from Rozovia. Part of the World Championship winning squad in 2018. Slivka out of system, and it's in those situations as a left-handed left-sider that you would think that he would find it incredibly difficult to score, and he just puts his creative hat on and gets as creative as you like. Great touch from the libero all the same, but that from Slivka, different level. It's unlucky from Lorenzano after the good work from libero. He's an under 18 and at the under 18 2020 European Championships. Italy just seems to be dominating every department of men's volleyball at the moment. MVP of the Champions League 2021, Slivka. For me, the difference so far in this matchup as well. He'll be a happy man. Following on from Tukiletu and Nikola Gerbic with this Zaksa side. Who last played against Kaplan Lubin on Saturday evening and won 3-1 here at home, but 7 losses and 18 wins for 4th place in Plus Liga at the moment. Trentino, they're currently second, 13 wins and 8 losses in a league dominated by Perugia. Bill Semenyuk, formerly of Zaksa, having a great season there, but then they're in 3rd place in Lube, who already lost the Holtback anchor this evening in 4th place. Not quite seeing the same Lube, are we, as who won the 2018-19 Champions League. But so far, one-way traffic for Zaksa. Timeout from Trentino, second one taken from them. We do know that there's a long way and a lot of time left in this
Poi
game.
dobbiamo fare attenzione, questo giro qui è una fase allarme. Questo è l'alzatore, ok? Bene, lì se ci vogliono 2 colpi li andiamo a fare e bene. Poi mi raccomando sul Kasmarek, la prima linea, il segui e l'uno qua, la seconda linea, uno lì in mezzo e l'angolone sempre nel posto 1. Via, 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 vai!
Lorenzano's gig, fabulous. It's not defense that's the problem. Smith's service runs. Oh, he's already had one off the top of the netband, but this time it just is the wrong side. Smith's had a great start. Slivska's had a great start. I think that Zaksa and their game plan has been spot on. Simolevu was happy with it as Gabriele Linelli comes in. Nelly at 2 meters 10. Best score at the 2019 World Champs. Won silver with Trentino in the 2016 season alongside Kaczynski. Going to serve into the net this time, and Lorenzetti literally left scratching his head. This reaction is back in, but then the barrel straight out. Very different, isn't it? Tone here to what we saw in Group D. Luke coming in for Martin Janusz. Seven back, more changes. Luke back out. Janusz back in. After the serve, a little bit of calm from Simolevu. Wonderful coaching careers. Chasing the game here, Trentino. Kaczynski scored a couple cross-body on the front court. Not quite got his serve running yet. He blocked a couple of times as well as we, for our first review here. Well, Paul D, Trentino, Zaksa, says Carlo Vasco and Deco Span as well out. Nothing to complain about from anyone there. Proving to be a real thorn in the side this evening. Bartosz Bednarz of Zaksa to Trentino, that's a great thing. And it's the defense that he's contributed with, making life very difficult. Showed you this time. Sticks out the left arm. And it's the second time of asking Lavia. Best outside in the European Championships a couple of years ago now. Incredible victory that evening for Italy as a change for them. Someone who played very nicely in the opening game for them, Donovan Djevernok. 10 points coming off the bench in the home tie against Zaksa. Lavia left the court for a long period of time, and Djevernok came in and did a fine job. Best scorer of the Challenge Cup in 2019, and again, Liverpool going with the volley over the top. This time it's picked and popped away from Djevernok. Nicoletto trailing by 4. Big serve. A few hands went in the air, looking for celebrations, but not this time. For Nicoletto. European champion, world under 21, Olympian. Always remember on that debut he scored 24 points against Canada. Following in with father Ricardo's footsteps. outside hitter who won many a trophy. The future's very bright for that man there in your picture. And the present, pretty good as well, one would say. The Vernock comes out, Spatoli back here. Can't play without a setter forever. Passes into a good spot. Brilliant setting. You can have that side out. The ball's coming from right to left. Spatoli has to do a lot with his hips and hands to change direction back to the right-hand side. We're going to have another look here. The middle. On time. Running back to Kaczynski, who does the rest. Beautiful setting from Spatoli. This time back to the opposite. And we expect to see that man fire on all cylinders once again, don't we? There's always first pick for Mikael Heinen throughout his career as Poland coach, but certainly will be for Zaksa and Poland for the foreseeable future, one would think. Overpass. Calmly handled by David Smith. Cool, calm and collective. Micheletto's pass. It was a little bit long and got served him short just a couple of times. This time to the middle. Kaczynski high and off the hands. Beautiful side out on set point for Zaksa. Still got another 5. Smith this time beaten in the block. The speed of Kaczynski. Big service pressure, shows you perfect. Totally out of system, has to go to the outside. Lavia goes high off the hands. Great out of system ball from Lavia. Doesn't have many options here because the sets come from so far off. He would lose his sharper angles. He knows he's got 2 to 3 blockers against him. So going high off of Slivka, a very, very good decision. As Marek says, good swing.
Everybody, guys, a second touch. We come. Absolutely, we cover.
Fans happy for the time being, that's for sure. But we know that this is always a long, long battle. Steady, looking puzzled. Trentino won't be happy with the start here. Remember, played 48 hours ago also against Padova. Rocket of the serve though from Trentino. And there's another one. Maybe, just maybe, they'll start to find some rhythm and momentum that we haven't seen. Lavia strong with the inside hand. Gets one on Slivka on the right side, this time for Zaksa. Tony serving. Good run from him outside, out of system, sorry, from Zaksa. And another one. As soon as the pass is a little bit off, the block from Trentino really get themselves into the game. Kaczynski this time. Kazmarek on the left side stopped. It's a 4-point swing and it's the second time out in very, very short time from Tuomas Levu.
Cover now, okay? Take a good line of goal.
Well, this would certainly put the cat amongst the pigeons, wouldn't it? Maybe some of the Zaksa fans starting to get slightly worried. 3-1. Trentino won in Trentino back in November. And in the second round, 3-2 the win away here back in January, just 5 weeks or so ago. That man serving immensely. 2 blocks in quick succession. A 4-point run for Trentino. Maybe put Zaksa under a bit of pressure. Post timeout, that's an unbelievable rip from Spatoli. But it's David Smith, who's had a great start to this game in the middle, who takes the opening set for Zaksa. They have deserved it. They've passed better. They've blocked superior at times. And that's a smart, true play from Smith. Zaksa take the opening set 25-22. But there's a lot of volleyball left in this one. Some highlights of an entertaining opening set, one that the Italians will know they need to improve on performance-wise for the second. Zaksa at home could have asked for more. They've got good off the block, nor me, bedrock the performance so far. Set 2. On the way shortly. Well, the perfect start for Zaksa, winning the opening set here, 3 kill blocks to 1. And also 9 errors from Trentino. Head up slightly, but they did start to find their rhythm, didn't they, with Spatoli serving towards the end of the opening set. So far, Bednar is not just making a couple of blocks and a couple of spikes, but his contribution defensively at 6. Proving vital as we have a look at the confirmation of the opening set score, 25-22 to Trentino. Both teams have won 5 of their 10 Champions League encounters against each other. Tonight, they're equal head-to-head, or in their equal head-to-head. Something really has to give. So many of these players playing at such a high level as Slivka gets us underway, who alongside Daniela Lavia, Micheletto, Spatoli, Kazmarek, were all against each other in the final of the 2022 World Championships in Katowice. Italy beat Poland 3-1 in that final. That's a big play to get us underway through the middle. The turn back there was delightful from Lizniak, changing direction very late with a good approach. Out of system here, big opportunity. Micheletto stays high. Have a look at that from Slivka in the perfect position, deep right. Makes an ideal play. Second chance, Kaczynski through 4 again. Slivka plays defense on the right and the left. The cover, Shoji everywhere. Some rally this one, and Slivka can take some plaudits. It might be Kazmarek who stays high and wipes off the hands, but Slivka's defense outstanding. 3 up for Kaczynski. The cover there in the back left Absolutely ideal. Shoji, well done to be covering so low under the block. And that's what Kaczmarek's there to do. Get his team out of the fiddle. Stay high off the hands. 204 centimeters. The fans cheering loudly. Delighted with this time. Micheletto stops. Rosane with good defense. And Slitska needs to slow down a little bit. He's going to give himself a headache back there if he keeps digging all these miraculous balls. Have a look off the ball. Very, very good. Just adapting depending on where the middle blocker is. If the middle blocker doesn't make it, he'll get into the seam. If not, he'll stay deeper and play for the slow touch off the block. Pass off the net. Big rip from Ben Norge. Took that second place in Shanghai. Masuda's game is this fast. He knows fair well that Rashid is going to struggle to get across. You can see the gap in the block. He'll always hammer the seam home. Look at that, passing off. He's been served a fair amount this game and he's just been shut down. He says, my bad. That's absolutely outstanding. We talk about David Smith a lot, but Pashiski is there right with him this evening. The addition of Bednorge to this team, for me, takes them up another level from where they were before Christmas. Nicoletto hasn't quite got firing yet. Kaczmarek has got firing. That's a battle through the left side. Zaksa winning the middle battle as well overall so far. Nicoletto. Big serve. Soji put to the floor, back to the outside. This time, 2 up, close the block, and goes into the angle to Lavia, who then looks for the hands, finds the hands on the way through. You have to say, Lorenzano, the young libero, with an outstanding dig, and for the first time we've seen Lavia just stay high and controlled. He knows he's got 3, he knows it's a slow ball, has to make the decision to go off the hands. Nicoletto. 75 points before this evening, 42 of those against Zaksa in those 2 battles in the group stages. Did his job though. They managed to make a defensive play with him behind the service line before he fires one out. Bartosz Bednarz. Big one off the net. We saw one of those from David Smith in the first set, and that certainly helped their cause. And this time it's Bednorz's serve that clatters into the net, and this helps the Zaksa cause mightily. It's enough to get Trentino out of system. Been a very, very good signing, the man who took a 3rd place for Zenit Kazan in 2021. Hammer. He's playing outstanding so far, and it's going to bring another break. The service brought the free ball, brought the quick attack in transition. Pajitsky, so quick, turns the ball sharply over the left shoulder, away from the blocker. Smith did a good job, not getting too tempted into that free ball hit, cycling the ball instead. More joy. Zaksa are absolutely cooking on gas in this opening leg of the Champions League quarter-final. If it's not Slitska, it's Bednorz. If it's not Bednorz, it's Smith. Everybody bringing their A game.
Siamo attenti sulle cose semplici. Via, vai!
Zaksa have served better over the first 45 minutes of this game than Trentino. Trentino have been put under pressure as Bednar's fine run of serves looks to continue. It does continue! Lorenzano and Micheletto pierced through the seam between them. Sorry, it's Lavia and Lorenzano. And it's a perfect serve to open up a 4-point lead in the second. Trentino have to be careful here. They can't afford this game to get away from them. Kazicki fires wide of the mark on the 10 attack. Shake of the finger from Eric Shoji. And this is dangerous territory for Trentino. If they were to, it's a big if early on, there's a lot of time. But if they were to go down 3-0 here, they would have a mountain to climb in Italy next Thursday to get themselves into the semi-final. It's been a very, very slow start. As finally something gives. Bartosz Bednar's, I have to say, if there was somebody who was around for Zaksa to have signed fairly comfortably after the start of the season they had, Bednar just coming and being the perfect fit, considering he was available. Lavia looking for the block. The block knows exactly what Lavia's looking for. Pashitsky all over it like an absolute rash. We've seen him go off the hands every time. 3 up, no spaces. Good fast hands from that man. Trentino are stuck down a hole at the moment. Kazicki again, another big server. Here with a very good pass from a low position. Kazicki on the 10 puts this one away. They've been rocked behind the service line. Been a lot more service errors from Trentino than Zaksa at this moment in time. Perfect passing. It's a little bit out of the window for Smith, so he has to try and tip around the block. They get a second chance in transition this time. Through the 10 attack, my word, that's an absolute feast from Kazmarek. Another high one off the hands from Kazicki. It's a long ball, fast ball on the 10. Middle commits, leaving a one-on-one. There's a lot of line for that man there to take advantage of. More questions and answers for that man there. In system, smuggled through. Almost a rare moment of joy in this second set. They've been few and far between for Zaksa. So you're just running that ball a little bit wider to open up the gap between the blockers in 2 and 3 from Trentino. Lavia. Free ball, someone's got to take care of that. And they do. Spatoli got his arms on the ball, and in the end, Kazicki outside, fly off the hands the Trentino way a lot of this game so far. Rockets from the service line from Lavia. Good free ball though, to take the setter out of the game at position 1. They recovered delightfully well. Smith never short of creativity, is he? Another big set from Lavia, finding that sideline delightfully well. 2 masterful bits of work from that man there. First time managing to get the free ball back. This time with a little bit of added interest. Trentino back to 2, and Trentino starting to find some joy in their serving. This time Shoji has to really battle to get the pass in. The Slipper on the right plays with speed. goes up on the ball and looks for the blocker's hands on the way through. Lavia's great service run comes to an end. And the speed that the teams are operating at makes it so difficult, even for the best blockers in the world, to penetrate. The inside hand of KŁDZIERZYN. Been good so far, Slivka, isn't he? Brilliant setting. Spatoli passed fast into 3.5. Had to do a lot of good work with the hips to work it back to position 2, and in turn lost the middle. Smith nowhere to be seen, and that was all Spatoli. Smith having to run right, back to left, and the one-on-one follows. Some of the play. Can anybody remember Kaczmarek putting a foot wrong so far? Serving towards position 1 to make it difficult to find position 2 there. You just said, it has to work so much harder to get the ball back to position 2 if it comes from position 1. This time through the hands of KŁDZIERZYN on the front court. Well, they're starting to scrap here. Whatever Lorenzetti said in that timeout, he said quite aggressively. Seems like it's working. Serve has certainly gone up a few decibels, and that's due to good patience. My oh my! High ball to the wing, inside play, sharp angle. He's been immense, isn't he? Bednosh so far. Lorenzetti knows he's been beaten by something pretty good there. Zaksa up by 3. Rock Trentino out of system. Slivka through the pipe. Challenge might be coming. I think he's pretty sure that ball was a touch or on the correct side of the sideline. Ball clearly out from Slivka. Kaczmarek currently attacking at 71% execution. Slivka at 50. KŁDZIERZYN at 100. Quite pleasing to the eye for Trentino. 55 for KŁDZIERZYN and just 29% for Lavia. There is Lavia getting back to a little bit of work, but to no avail. Fans delighted. Bednosh's fine serving has certainly added to this display from Zaksa. Could be the perfect replacement for Kamil Semenuk at Perugia now. Powerful outside spiker with good experience, having played in Russia and in Italy with Modena as well. Maybe a high off the hands. Smart swing. Progression in Lesniak, Lavia, Cavuto, Spatoli, Micheletto, Uta here. The remainers from the squad that made the Champions League final last year. Great speed to find Slivka out of system. Absolutely magical with a left-sided left-hander to work at those speeds from Janusz is quite exemplary. To keep the blockers moving, to stop them from penetrating as powerfully as they could, and this time it's a slower ball, but Lavia proving that there's not too many better players. With 3 up, Micheletto this time put to the floor. That takes him out of the pipe and just picks on the blocker who's got the longest distance to travel there, which is Slivka. He struggles to penetrate. Slivka this time beaten on the pass. Spatoli just like we saw in the opening set, trying to serve Trentino back into the mix here. It's not just Spatoli who's done a sublime job serving the line throughout this set. Ziski also did it. Front court receiver served against Slivka, so the ball's moved to the right-hand side. Kaczmarek trying to move the blockers. Kaczynski goes high off the top of the hands and finds some joy this time. Oh my word. Just when you think that Zaksa have got it all sussed, Trentino fire back. Credit where credit is certainly due to Lorenzano with a scoop and a half. Well, well, well. 16-all. Trentino brought this back from no one.
Then remember, guys, we are good here. When the setter is running, he likes to play back. Okay, come on.
That man's been brilliant, as has that man as well. Contributing, but Spatoli now serving his team right back into the second set, straight back after the front court receiver. Once again, the pattern of play is exactly the same. They take Slivka out, they put the pressure on Janusz, and in the end, the ball goes to Kaczmarek. Kaczmarek this time fires long. Trentino take the lead. Patience certainly paying dividends here. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Hang on. That ball was in, but no review. Absolutely huge moment in this set. Back to the outside. Slivka gets back into the game. He's a bit more in rhythm. The set is in a great spot to keep the ball in front of Slivka, and in turn, Slivka has his angles. Good work with the free ball from the middle, gap in between the two blockers. Slivka just speeds his arm up nicely. Load serve to position one. Where's this one going to go? Trying to work the middle. It's a difficult work from Spatoli, but that's where the top setters certainly make their money. From position one off the net, has it do good work with the feet to try and find Lizniacin. If you can find him, he will score. We always haven't seen too much of the ball for Trentino this evening, but the serving certainly improving as they lead by one. Pipe attack with huge speed. Absolutely huge speed. Second temper, good watch from Lizniacin. Doesn't commit with the middle. Knows exactly what's coming. And Huber comes in for Slivka. Best middle blocker in the Polish league last year. 207 drawing from Skra. Played against Zaverchi, who are currently top of the Plus Liga, but as mentioned earlier, lots of the bench used in that second leg, especially when they already had confirmed their spot. Fortunately, Huber serves into the net, so he's replaced straight away from for Slivka. Well, this game should be getting all of your attention right now, as Trentino have had to work incredibly hard to get their way back into this one. Serve, it's a brilliant tactical serve, fast down the line. Ball has to go to the outside due to the service pressure of that man there. Lizniacin. Fast serve to position one. No time for Janusz to really do anything else but send it to the wing. And Zaksa, if they lose this set, might just be kicking themselves. They open the door for Trentino, and what you don't want to do to Trentino is open the door. It's another same pattern. Have a look at Lavia. They are fully aware here, Trentino, what even winning this set would mean in the context of this tie. Zaksa are starting to look lost. The serving from Lizniacin on the back of Spatoli's run. opening doors for Trentino Itas here. 2 serves quick to the line, 5-1, forcing the hand of the setter to the outside. Starting to lose the rhythm here. And to think, Zaksa were in firm control at the opening. The opening scene of this set. Bednar's has gone maybe a little quiet. And the boys in blue are starting to force their hand here. Another perfect serve, cramming the play. This time they do get the ball back to position 2, but it's perfectly read in the middle. Another opportunity for Kaczmarek. There's a funky touch somewhere from Micheletto, I think, but the ball's out of play and Zaksa are back to 2. Kaczmarek in the thick of everything. Good blocking from Polrashinin, but second time beaten. Fellow countryman Lisniak has a left foot in the end and gets underneath the ball. Deflection off the netband. This time it goes in favour of Trentino. And they're flourishing now on the pipe through Lavia. Smiles all round. Their body language lifting here as the scores and the tables start to turn. Tuomas Similevu will be slightly frustrated with what he's watching, but that's better. Kashitsky leaving an absolute dent in the floor. No blockers. Trentino choosing to release the Polrashinin to the outside early. Didn't think the ball was going to go to Kashitsky, but it's good setting from Janusz. Middle for a middle, back in the game. I mean, you think about the best middles in Champions League history. The middles here for Trentino wouldn't be far off. Polrashinin, Lisniak. Then you think of the likes of Robert Landy, Simon, amongst a lot of others. 2 points will do it. Micheletto serving his fellow left-hander, Slivka. This time, Kaczmarek finds a way through, and the level has gone up again from Zaksa. Remember, had a huge lead in the early part of this one. Big open up in the arm swing of Kaczmarek, and that gives him power and torque, but it also gives him the ability to hit multiple angles in lots of different directions. Another missed serve. Bednar's. If you have a think about this, Trentino lost or missed a lot of serves in the opening set, and then all of a sudden Zaksa started to miss a few themselves. Jorvik comes in for Spatoli just to try and make a block here. Trentino have 3 set points. Polrashinin's gonna rip the first of them. Good pass. Marek block, but block out. Sensational game so far, Kaczmarek, and substitution reversed as a very impressive Vernal comes out from the Czech Republic. Second set point for Trentino. Pass slightly out of the system from Micheletto. Lavia just goes away from the body but finds the defender. Not 3 up this time. Slivka looking for hands and then a little bit of DIY. Slivka again has to get his feet inside the ball, and he does so quite incredibly. My word, Spatoli off the top of the hands. What a play! Cannot quite believe your eyes. First of all, did the ball leave and go out the same way? Spatoli decides to retreat the hands as he thought he was being targeted, but that dig, absolutely sensational. Kaczynski does the rest through the hands of the blocker. And it's Trentino that bring us back to 1-1. Zaksa had a perfect start to set 2. They'll be kicking themselves. Trentino on the rise here in the CEV Champions League quarterfinals. What a play to finish in. Bertoli with probably the touch of the match so far.
bad first set, you played better in the second one. What is the most important for you now? To stay focused?
But the first set not so bad. But we have the counter-attack soft. In the second set, we manage better this skill, and the level is better.
Thank you so much.
A little bit more aggression in transition, I think, was the words Lorenzetti after that second set. Who can blame him? They've been absolutely incredible. Remember, they were a fair few down in set number 2, and they were looking deflated. But a couple of good service runs certainly turned the tide, and that touch from Spatoni, alongside some great serving, contributed to winning the second set. What's going to happen in set number 3? Who knows after the first 2 sets? But I know that we are in for an absolute treat here in Poland for the next hour or so. Next flight moves on to Italy next Thursday.
After amazing first set, you played worse in the second one. Do you think that a lot of mistakes, it was the key?
Yes, we have to focus on our game plan. How do we have to play against the opponent? Then just in the heat of the game, remember also our things. Not to try to do something special. Stay as a team, fight as a team, and remember what we have to do. Every rally, nothing else.
Thank you so much.
Samulevo asking for a process-led approach to the rest of the game. Maybe feels that his team became a little bit unfocused, maybe. Didn't quite have their attention in the right spot when it comes to their game plan. Interesting to hear from the coaches mid-game to get a real flavour of what they're thinking and what they're communicating to their teams. We knew this game was going to be close. We knew there's not much between them. Zaksa having won the last 2 Champions Leagues. Trentino, the runners-up in both of those Zaksa victories. 5-5 in the head-to-head, with Trentino having won 2 encounters already this season. We have a look at the score. 1-1. Zaksa served perfectly. The game plan was on point. But in the second set, Trentino serving went up, their errors certainly went down. We go to the third. Well, the win already for Holback Ankara against Lube. Lube have to come back from a 3-1 deficit next week to stay in the Champions League. So much good volleyball to look forward to. Perugia unbeaten in Serie A. Formidable looking team. Berlin, Friedrichshafen, and Sefrensby. They all know they have to concentrate on their ties, but they'll be watching this one very, very closely too, because it's right back in the thick of things, isn't he? Slivka. We're underway. Brilliant setting to pull that ball back. What a sharp angle pass, and do some magical work. That serve straight down the line is very problematic, but trying to force the hand to the outside. Progression does see it, but maybe a little bit late to get across and double stack. Three passes for Smith's serve. He had a little bit of luck off the netband earlier, almost gets it again. Onto the front court receiver, which is Micheletto. They go through the middle, but chance in transitions. Spatoli's out the attack now, so Liberia steps in. Brilliant work from Micheletto to just stay high and dispatch on it. Lorenzano just keeps the ball high. Micheletto has to get his feet inside the ball and really hit up on it to go off the block. Shrewd, smart swing. Zaksa unchanged, as are Trentino in the second set. 13 points for Kazitsky so far, 7 for Lavia, not many for Micheletto, just 3 going into this, or 4 now, having scored already. To the outside, looking back to the line, Bednor, but no avail. 7 points for him so far, 12 for Kaczmarek. So far, Slivka passing very well at 63%, positive at 19, excellent receives. So overall, slightly better on the Trentino side of things, though. Not this time, as Lorenzano passes it down, but the outlet is Kazitsky. It's just a continuation play, and it's crushed back from Kaczmarek. You heard about from Lorenzetti saying that they were a little bit too passive in transition. Maybe the situation was difficult there for Kazitsky, but in turn they could convert. Again, Zaksa starting stronger here. 12 points this evening for Kaczmarek. 71% execution, which for me is the best so far. Isniachin 75%, as is Pashitsky, but they haven't been set anywhere near the same amount of balls as Kaczmarek in the middle. But Micheletto, out of system play, has to go to the wing. That's exactly what Zaksa need from Bednors, is when they're out of system, someone that they can just throw the ball to high and quick, who can just rip the ball from a disadvantaged position. Zaksa are backfiring for the time being. Bednors back behind the service line, flourishing again, out of system. There is no Micheletto, but there is a Kazitsky. And there's a nod from Bednor. He thinks the ball's out. Okay, let's have a little look here. Ned's starting the fire everywhere. Referee's saying, okay, we have to go for a review. Zaksa feel that they have the point. Trentino feel that it should go their way. It's the sort of entertainment that we want from this game. Let's go. Bednord has already got the ball back in his hand. He's certain he was at position 6, so he potentially has the best view of things. Bednord, who last played in Poland in 2017-18 for Straba Patov. Since then went to Modena, Kazan, Shanghai, and now back to Poland. The question is, well, not whether it's in or out, this question is a touch. There is a touch from Mr. Kajicki, and therefore Bartosz Bednord will have to give the ball back to Trentino and let them serve with the differential. Through the middle, well seen. Liznach doing Liznach things. Pass into a perfect spot. A little look from Janusz to see where the middle is. And it's double trouble from Serbia. Serve out the back this time. Rashin serving, Liznach blocking, doing all of the damage as it has done so many times before. This time 9 errors from Zaksa in set 2. Very, very different to set 1 where it was 9 errors for Trentino. That was the main difference because 2 kill blocks for Zaksa. No kill block for Trentino. Trentino have already made 1 this set. Liznach is right back in the thick of the game here. And I think that's exactly what Trentino need if they want to dominate proceedings here. Liznach going back through the middle, trying to snap it back to 5. Difficult swing there from the Serbian, but they live to fight another battle here. Zaksa and Snitska doing exactly what he loves to do. Stay high, work off the hands. He knows that he'll have a slight mismatch against Patoli if he can stay high, especially in these situations where the play is slightly crammed. The middle blocker has the time to get across there, Liznach, but off the outside paw of Patoli. Feeling that this might just turn into a bit of a classic. Off the antenna, I think, on the way through from Ukrainian. Having a good game, played for Gdansk last weekend, and time at Kuzbas Komarovo as well. Russia, formerly of the former team of Tuomas Simolevo. Also, Jordan Petty, who former coach of Zaksa. Petty followed Simolevo to Komarovo. Big block on the wing, Slivka right back in the thick of it here. And Zaksa starting to fly. Again looking to stay high off the hands. And again getting shut down, but back to Kajicki, played underneath Tuomas Simolevo in the last season at Kuzbas Borovo. So for quite a while. Simolevo, and there's no surprise that they're both here working together once again. There's Lorenzetti, who, well, we heard ourselves, didn't we? We had second set interview that much happier with his team's aggression in transition. Former coach of Italy under 21 team, but Padova, Verona, Piacenza, Modena, name it, he's done it. The 58-year-old has the t-shirt to prove it. The more that Trentino can hang on here, the more than their future selves will thank them. But that's a good serve Lozano's trying to get in all over that one, but great float serving, just upsetting the apple cart of Trentino. Just withdrawing the hands again because they know that Trentino in those slow ball situations are going to be looking to go off the hands as often as possible. Short serves working nicely, but Lavia opens up this time, knows that he has a good situation in front of him. Quick ball, wide ball. They're taken out of the attack again. We haven't seen much, but a one-on-one with Lavia. Great decision to unleash. Middle's looking to go to the right-hand side, but Tony rips it to the left, or to the right, sorry, and Lavia's back to serve. 3 points in it, that means nothing. Big one. Micheletto gets one back for Trentino. And although Zaksa are having the better start to this set, doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be the one to take it. Big block in the angle. Micheletto on Kazmarek. Interesting to see if Kazmarek comes back over the left shoulder. No, he's taken out this time. Everyone out of the attack. Opportunity, second ball attack. Lavia, huge play, but it's out-muscled at position 2 from Slivka. Well done, Zaksa, for paying full attention both times. What a touch. Marek takes him out the attack, the 2 ball comes, but Shoji is equal to everything every time. And in turn, that's a big point that goes Zaksa's way. Clash of the Titans, but we knew it would be. To say, Shoji so far has been his usual self. 36% in reception, but solid, all the same defensively. He's positive influence on everybody else on the court, but this time he's beaten. Float serve from Lizinac, which has been straight down the line every single time this evening. He just changes direction and catches Shoji off of guard. It's a brilliant late move from Lizinac. He then goes straight back down the line position, drag back, it's another one. Kຄໍmakes a humdinger to bring Trentino back level. Back to the line again, and not for the first time. We see Janusz try and bring it back to the opposite position from there. Gets the one-on-one, but I think it was a little bit tight and inside. Big run from Lizinac at this moment. Staying high into the angle. Similar play. So we've seen that 80% of the time that Janusz is trying to bring that ball back. Game of chess. That's why we love it. A bit past 3 meter line, second. But he's doing it all himself. Speed, matched with the high arm. Too hot, the block. Perfect work. Great decision to go off the body, knowing fair well that Bednarz has a lot of work to do to try and pinch in and help there. So just turning it away from the body, the smart move. Pipe attackers have to stay outside of, or away from the middle of the court. Kazmarek. Hammer of a serve. Tony having to rescue one to Micheletto, who's been very quiet. Barry does a good job hiding underneath the block, and there's a decision here for a net touch, I think, against Zach. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's getting very, very tight. Great continuation from Micheletto twice in a row, but on the way through there's a net touch, I think, from Krajewski. work from KŁDZIERZYN in the middle. Big Clinton angle. Sloop. Just about everything, but he can't pick that one. Too much heat in the hammer arm of Bednoj. Good speed and width. Frustration from Libero, just jumping around a little bit defensively. Zaksa by 1. Pass a little bit off and right. Trying to find Lavia. Kazmarek is saying that ball is out. Zaksa is saying there's no touch. Referee saying something slightly different. This is interesting. It's going to start getting a little bit animated. Gloves might be off here. Veer is having a look. This is not the first time the teams have disagreed in set number 3 here. Turning into a fascinating matchup between two teams that know each other incredibly well. And you can see that they know each other well just by watching how tactically this one is unfolding. This ball is out. Good review from the referee. Right time to take it. No touches the ball. And again, that first touch just being wide and right, just causing some problems for the rhythm of Spatoli and Lavia. 2-point lead at a nice time. Bednoj serving. Pressure on the reception 3 of Lavia Micheletto and Lorenzano. That's 2 in a row. Just goes astray. Have to try and stop this. Yeah. Incredibly smart. It's tight, so he has to start using the block. Second chance, he's off, so he can be a lot more physical. It's an outstanding second swing that from Lavia. Very consistent. Fast ball through the pipe. All down to fantastic first touch. And again, this match doesn't commit. But also getting across, Lavia can't quite get across and get his hands penetrating that cross-court angle as quickly as he would have liked. They love running the pipe when the pass is good, Zaksa. Good zones, that's back to the middle this time, and it's a good moment, really, for Trentino to go back to Liznach. Hopefully open up the game on the outside as we get into business time of set number 3. Smith knowing that he's just been beaten again. I think it's a wider one from Spatoli, trying to beat the hands of Smith. Passing into a good zone. Again the pipe. Twice in a row. Bednoj again, outstanding this evening. Second tempo, 3 net, help yourself. Will we see more middle attacks? Yes, it will. 4 plays in a row to the see Liznach's available. Get used. Serve. Trentino just seem to be hanging in there all the time, and they have a good service roster to back that up. One missed by Lavia though. Sign from Rizovia, but can play for Olsztyn, Varshavia. 17s. Flat serve to position 1, high swing. Lavia just sat in the perfect spot on the edge of the block, but there's 3 up. Kaczynski's asking where's the cover. There is no cover. And Kaczmarek has to go high with Kaczynski there. Has to match him for height before pressing. Marvelous work from him. These teams are trading. Short serve again. Lavia this time the target. Has to try and hit himself out of trouble. It's more of a security pipe than it is a fast tempo offensive pipe. Second chance. A little look from Janusz before going quick to the pin. Hang on a moment. Spatoli's involved a little bit. Kaczynski's involved a little bit here, talking to the referee. Bednor's going with the left. No net touch from Kaczynski. Perfect form, legs spiking. Hand pressing over. Help yourself. Alessandro Micheletto. Big serve from Trentino. Bringing the overpass, and Micheletto will do everything else. Once again, from the baseline, Trentino wriggle their way back into a position of strength here.
Let's go, guys.
After we rest, slowly to serve.
Fast passing, slowed down nicely from Janusz in the set. Very nice control from the set there. Everything was really quick towards him, so he just lifts it, gives it a little bit more time for Kaczmarek to find it over his right shoulder. But to the floor, Slivka, but great swing from that man. Not much between these two. Kaczynski on the 10. Puts Kaczmarek on his backside. Huge moments here. Brilliant pass from Micheletto, and because he passes it, he's not going to see as much of the ball there. It's not the first time that we see that from Spatoli, either just flipping the ball to his opposite man on the 10 when Micheletto's the target. Might see Micheletto a little bit more if he doesn't have to do as much passing. Under pressure. And that's an unbelievable set. Matched with quite the feisty swing from Zaksa. Big work from the setter to get Kaczmarek into the game. Reaching a little bit into the angle there, Lavia, and leaving too much line for Poland's right side man. Bednors. Rangano off the net, has to go to 4. There's going to be a block there, but luckily there's good cover with the 2-man block. 3-man block this time. Cover once again from Trentino. All these small things add up eventually, but it's going to be a big chance here. Kaczmarek, he's been shut down, and the cover from Zaksa, not quite as strong as the cover twice from Trentino. Kaczmarek says, my bad, but you have to give credit where credit's due. He's getting stopped a fair amount, Kaczmarek. The middle's doing a fine job. Nelly coming back in for Spatoli, just for this one rotation to try and make a block at crunch time. Getting some words from the side. Spatoli, big block. In on the right. It is going to be Nelly. He's going to have to do a bit of work, but Slivka on that left side has to do a lot of good work as soon as the ball's off the net to get his arm to the ball. passes off. His last couple of steps really quick and his arm fast and high too. Hold on tight. We could be here all evening long. Pass the middle this time. Nicoletto the target again and snuggling one past the middle blocker. Lavia. Krasicki. Not so happy. Janusz back in for Booth. Up goes the 10 right-sider who played for Verona and played in Israel as well, but offers Spatoli. Rips a big one. Trentino lead by 2. Big moment for an ace. Zaksa have certainly had their opportunities.
Stay in position, everybody left, right, ready to receive.
To see if Zaksa can get themselves back in a little bit of rhythm, some more systematic plays. So Janusz can set wherever he likes. We know he likes going to the pipe in the middle, sometimes having his hands forced to go to Kaczmarek a little bit more than he'd potentially like, and in those situations Kaczmarek has 2 blockers on him, 3 blockers on him, and struggling to score. A lot of it down to the game plan of Lorenzetti, the service pressure of Trentino. Absolutely big serve from Tony. He's had a great evening blocking and high off the hands of Kaczynski from Slivka. Have a look at Slivka off the ball here. Tony does an unbelievable job to get the ball in. High ball with speed, fast arm. Slivka beats off of Lizanac. Side out for set point for Trentino, and this would put them in a very, very good position, not just tonight, but in this leg overall. Touch. Kaczynski on the left. 2 up, 3 up in the block from Zaksa. And at the perfect time, Smith and Kaczmarek Slivka all team up and do real damage. Off the hands, Spatoli with another outrageous bit of defense. We saw a dive in the second set that was magical, but this time there are 3 Zaksa blockers waiting. Challenge in progress though. What are we watching for this time? Oh my word, there's a net touch, David Smith's right arm. So that one is going to go Trentino's way. And instead of being tied, Ivanov is coming in to serve for this 3rd set. Drama, absolutely. Did we know it was coming? Absolutely. Dvornik. A big serve to the line. What a substitution. And it's checkmate for Trentino. Dvornik's just come off the bench. And that's a nasty, nasty serve. And there's the confirmation. An ace for Trentino to take set 3 after a very slow start. They are firing on all cylinders here. 25-22, 22-25, 22-25. Zaksa have had the start in the opening 2 sets, but Trentino's serving and defense sees them through. Well, Trentino lead 2-1, and you have to fit consistency over the 3 sets. Completely deserves to be leading and looking on to next week. In my eyes, already the favourites now to win this tie. If they could seal a victory, to win here twice in the Champions League in one season would be a feat that not many teams could do. Trentino, with a quiet Micheletto, are doing the business here from the service line. Where does Tuomas Semelevu go from here? We know that he very much enjoys his starting 7. Lots of options on the bench, all the same. So there's a confirmation of the score. 25-22, all the way around here. 3 aces from Trentino, certainly the difference with 5 kill blocks, which has a really positive effect with how your team are serving. 6 errors from Zaksa, only 4 from Trentino. And remember, Trentino had 9 in the first set, but 5 and 4 in sets 2 and 3. That's magnificent work from the team, who didn't look at the pace needed at the first set and a half. Questions of them playing just 48 hours ago on Sunday, but they look to have shaken that off, and they're finding full flow. Lavia is really hot, but he's in the game a lot here, and it's not perfect from Lavia, but it's been incredibly consistent and smart, and he's seen a lot of the ball, and Spatoli is really using his options wisely, using the pipe in that off-the-net position. A smart move. This serve to position 1 has been very successful so far this evening for this match, but this time they find the side out. They know it's coming, but it's about how it affects the offense. It really takes Lifter out of the offense a lot by bringing into position 1. It makes it very difficult to bring the ball back to position 2 as well. Another thought would be, how can they get Kazmarek back firing? Back through the pipe, big headshot! Wow! Lavia is certainly fired up for this one now. 2 pipe attacks, this one on the reverse, middle commits, and Bosch off the shoulder of Yanush. But that's great setting from Spatoli again, mixing up ace, and maybe this one is over. Kaczynski is back, firing on all cylinders. Trentino now have the start that they would have wanted, that we haven't seen in the previous 3 sets. We've seen 2 of those for Zaksa, and now all is falling in line for Trentino. And you have to think, Zaksa, since losing that second set, haven't quite been at the races. And again, Spatoli, who has been absolutely outstanding this evening in his decision making. This time using the middle. Unfortunately, Kaczynski is rightfully so caught watching Lizanac, which, if you run Lizanac on the wider ball, the C ball, the 3-meter ball, Kaczynski has to respect that. He also has to respect the fact that Spatoli's used the pipe 2 balls in a row. So the last thing that he's expecting is the second touch attack from Spatoli there, which is what makes it so smart. Back to the middle. Spatoli is absolutely running things here. Pipe, second touch, now to the middle, and let's watch him go to the outsides and start running things there as well. Nicoletto. Certainly, you wouldn't think we'll be walking away with the 21 points that he's had so far, but he finds a way to wriggle his way into games from anywhere, doesn't he? And the pass is going from Slivka, the performance is going from Zaksa, and Micheletto is rising once more to this occasion. Spatoli, magnificent again now that the pass is going in. Let's have a listen to Simulator.
We fix a little bit of our side out, and we go, okay. Find our service and we keep going. Okay, come on. Let's go.
Teams have started the same in every set. Maybe just basically saying, let's do the simple things well, fellas, and hopefully the rest will look after itself. But the pass isn't there, the serve isn't there. It's a funny thing, that, isn't it? Everything is going the right way. The pass is coming in for Trentino. What we're seeing from Spatoli is we're not seeing him really use the wings at the moment. He just really feeds the middle early on through the pipe, and so the Micheletto's good run of serves comes to an end. Zitsky on 16 points so far this evening. That's really snuck up from nowhere. Micheletto on 7, Kazmarek on 18, Bednar's on 12, and Slivka as well. But I thought that Bednar's went slightly quieter in that previous set. Let's see if he spikes or serves away and gets his way back into it. He certainly does. Big players need to come to the game at big times, and there's one thing not quite firing. It might be the libero's pass of Lorenzano, Gabriele Lorenzano, who signed from Taranto. Just in that third set, pulled a couple of passes wide and off. See Lorenzano firing to his libero, trying to get a message across. Lorenzano to Lorenzano, who knows what was said as Krasny into the net, but not too much going on here. If he's going to miss a serve, is what I'm trying to say, now is probably the time to do so. A good situation now. They play the ball back outright, but equal to it, the block of Zaksa. Slivka strong with the outside hand. Kazitsky is now stopped. Bulgarian superstar. Fantastic job to naturally get across the net and finish strong. Smith and Slivka working delightfully well together. We have a few more. Kazitsky, I think that was the toss that was a little bit lacking, and because the toss was a little bit low, everything else had to quicken up and couldn't quite find enough height. Well, after the opening set, not many would have told you that this might happen, but Spatoli had a great run in that opening set of serves, and he served very well since. That's a great out-of-system fast attack, Lavia, but it's fast again from Zaksa. Lavia to get himself up is outstanding, and then Slivka to use his brain like that and just to go off the hands of the block is also high-level thinking. This game is starting to fire up again, and it's not a surprise that you see him volley the ball so much as a left-handed outside player when that ball's not quite in the slot and he's got two blockers against him. He goes with one hand, he certainly hasn't got enough options or variations to score, but with the volley he can at least speed the game up and change direction of the ball. Great passing. What you have to say here is that this match has been served in the middle, Rashin has been served in the middle, Lavia has been served on the pipe when he was on the backcourt, and as the game goes, Tony's got full control of this, but it's another missed serve from Zaksa, and unfortunately that was the story of the opening set. And that might just allow the likes of Slivka and Zaksa to think they have a chance here. Passes out of system. Liberi's getting a lot of ball. That's a quite simple, easy tactic for Zaksa, but Lorenzano isn't passing on a good tempo into position 2.5 to 3, then he's going to get a lot of the ball targeted his way. We're tied at 9-9. The pass and serve is coming back for Zaksa. It's slightly leaving Trentino at the moment.
Nelle palle break, giochiamo con calma che dobbiamo fare mani out e tirare forte, se giochiamo veloci, forti. Guardiamo con la battuta, dai. Via, vai. Vieni qua. Attaccati, Via, ragazzi.
We know that this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. We know that nothing will be decided tonight. Both teams equally capable of winning on foreign soil. But we know that Trentino have the better of this fixture this season. Yes, not in the Champions League over the last couple of seasons. Yes, there's a few changes in personnel. No Semenyuk is a big loss for Zaksa. We can't ignore that. But they're still a side to be feared, and they're getting their way back into this game through that man there, Kaczmarek, who's having to do a lot of the heavy lifting this evening. And the fact he has a smile back on his face will certainly please the fans. That's a really good swing to get the off body away from the block here. No look fade away. Happy days from Kaczmarek. No wonder he enjoyed it. No situations, ball's just dying a bit inside, and Kaczmarek having to lean to get the ball and the hitting shoulder before turning the wrist away. Delightful bit of work. Now the pass has left Zaksa 3 up in the block. Straight down. Suffer that, Zaksa. Say Trentino. Slivka wants the net touch. He's got to be desperately searching the net touch. That was an absolutely brutal bit of blocking. Match defining? Probably not. Net touch? Bit shame. Rationing was all over that like a rash. Passing close, block is in. And it's Micheletto's swing that's long and wide, and it's funny what one decision can do. It turns into another one for Kaczmarek. It turns in to a good bit of momentum, but something's kicking off here once again. Referees just having to bring a little bit of calm here as things get a bit ferocious. Net touch again, this time from Spatoli. Pass way too tight. And the pass from Trentino really has to come back to the forefront here. But it's starting to be leaked. Kaczmarek is serving his team back into this one. Second opportunity, free ball this time, one-on-one. Lorenzano, what a dig. Hustling Trentino. Zaksa pushing hard. Another dig, this time from Lavia. Have to try and stay calm. Micheletto from the left, trying to tip through. One of the rallies of the game so far. Zaksa all at sea here. Bump cutting from Kaczmarek. Free ball coming out again to Micheletto. And he goes wide of the sideline. Cannot believe it. And it's another one that goes to the challenge. This is exhausting. Micheletto, the lefty on the outside again. Slightly more difficult hitting when the ball is a little out of system. So another one that goes Zaksa's way. No look, fade away. 3 up in the block. There wasn't much to play with there, was it? And this is certainly starting to get us on the edge of our seats. Kaczmarek is really at the forefront of this one, pushing from the baseline. High toss spin serve. The 2-time Champions League winner. Fast tempo. Lavia through there in this set has been on another level. Can only really run the pipe when the pass is flourishing. Micheletto, yes, he hasn't been scoring as freely as we've seen before, but that pass links everything together for Spatoli. Micheletto now from the baseline. Trentino maybe missed 1, 2, 3 too many serves. Lorenzini will know that, as there's maybe a little bit of deja vu from the opening set where there was 6 or 7 that went astray. Micheletto back in the pass as things start to get very interesting. Spatoli scampers across 2.5. Red North this time. Zaksa 1-3-0 Champions League final. May last year, the year before that 3-1 against Trentino. But since then it's all been Trentino in the head-to-heads. In the pool stages, Micheletto in the pipe this time. And at 2:04, he has the ability just to stay high and go to tall town off the top of the fingertips. 35 now. I feel that he still has a lot of volleyball in front of him. Zaksa insistent with the connection between the setter in the middle, slightly off. Lavia gets absolutely stuffed by Pashinsky, straight back into his foot. Fine play, at least took Spatoli out the attack, and Micheletto was trying to get in and set the ball. Up, Lavia in those compromised positions, always looking for the hand. He just stays high and presses with the left. Lavia, Micheletto, Lorenzano passes off again. And this is a problem for Trentino. The pass is off and it brings the block into the game, especially with Lavia on the outside. He's been so consistent, but in these situations, time and time again, the block will win overall as Brzezinski, 2 in quick succession. The Zaksa wall dominating Lavia at the moment.
Le palle break, giochiamole alte e corte, alte. Proviamo, rischiamo, ma sempre alte. E le coperture,
I don't speak Italian, but I would hope something about the passing and serving being communicated here. What a game to keep you on the edge of your seats. Zaksa looked lost after dominating the first set and a half. When you thought it was potentially a 3-1 game in favour of Trentino, Zaksa come knocking once more. The service pressure has gone up. Kaczmarek's service run outstanding. Ably assisted by this from Pashinsky. Smith with the free, the hustle gone to there. Aaron, play! Shut the door! Smith and Stivka combined, putting on a clinic hit. 2 times in a row. No block, Bosch. Slivka says thank you very much, Mr. Smith, for putting me in the slot. What? Well. 3-point lead for Zaksa, and it looks like all of a sudden we might be going to 5. Micheletto finds one away from the body. Hope that wherever you're watching from, you are entertained because you have a few more thrills and spills coming your way. Pipe attack, well seen, good volleyball. Just to make sure he's watching through the net. To get another look at great pass. You have to say how everything together there. But Janusz then to go onto the pipe, and how many times do you see this net not by the bait but hold and watch the pipe? It's outstanding. Fast play to the line this time. Just getting along with the ball everywhere, isn't it? 8 errors so far in this set for Trentino. 4 from Zaksa, 3 kill blocks from Zaksa. Trentino actually been better in his fighting department of this game, or this set, but errors costing. Big hammer. Light's going to the cross-court through position 4. Kaczmarek doesn't even, once again, Slivka's having to do a lot of passing here as Trentino try and take him out of the attack, but everybody's coming through offensively as Lorenzetti tries to solve the puzzle in his head. A lot of work left in this one. Slivka is the consistent throughout set 4. High swing from Kaczynski this time. A lot easier to put the ball away for the spiker when passes perfectly on the bottoms of Spicoli. Lorenzano can find some confidence. That one as he's been targeted a lot, the young libero from Nitro Pachi. Also play there, but Lorenzano is 20 years old. So still very much learning his trade, the libero. Going to the challenge round. Edge of your seat stuff as we look down the barrel of the 5th set. Zaksa and their fans starting to come back into this game. Serving, disrupting the passing of Trentino and in turn getting the block back into the game on a regular basis. No faults. One goes the way of Trentino. This position 1, as we've seen the whole game. Slivka puts him under pressure. And it's good work from Zaksa to play quick enough and change direction. We see Kaczmarek brought into the game so many times of this. So Janusz is to the floor there to get that ball across to Kaczmarek so he can do something with it. And that's just to look off the middle blocker of Podrashinin. It's a smart move from Janusz. I don't think he had any other choice. And that face tells us everything. They're quickening up the speed here. Zaksa, another defense. Is it going to buy 4? It'd be colossal if they could, but well, Kaczmarek is looking for a touch. He's either right or absolutely wrong by a country mile, because on first looks it looked like it was way away from any hand at the net, but so Kaczmarek on 18 so far, Kaczynski 16. Strong game on the right side, it's exactly what he's there to do. Yeah, no touch. Didn't look like there was a change of direction. Hang on here. You know, we know fair well that they've been behind. The serve all evening long to the sideline from Kaczynski Spatoli has been on another level. But Micheletto has been brought down. The set's a little bit inside. He'll struggle hitting the line, just like we see from Slivka in those situations. Tries to speed up off the middle blocker. First touch from Leveille was great. One diving away. Kaczynski, the Ukrainian, great hands in the block. Had a great game. Say that Zaksa at times has certainly won the middle battle against the two Serbians. Micheletto this time nurdles a way through in a similar situation with a different speed of the arm, I think, just to catch the blocker's timing a little bit out. Janusz knew that the tool was coming. Good high swing in the end from Micheletto, who's now serving. Showed me a weight, but don't think it'll go his way. Doesn't go his way, it's an ace! Bednarz stopped at clutch time. Big drawing left-handed hammer into the seam before Slivka, who steps out the way and says, Bednarz, you can take it. He's the front court receiver, so maybe that's why he didn't want a slice of it. He wanted to release so he could focus on hitting. And we said, Trentino, they keep knocking on the door here. Zaksa could capitulate in front of our very eyes. Can't keep this young man quiet for very long. 21 points in both of the duels between these two teams this year. Not quite there this evening, but still contributing nicely. As Zaksa find the side out that they desperately need through Bednarz on the left side. Or do they? Maybe they don't. Bednarz is sure that that ball was in, or there was maybe a touch. Micheletto's grabbed that ball very quickly and said, no, we have won that point and we're back all square. Zaksa can't afford to surrender another lead here. We've seen that in sets 2 and 3 already. We've seen a lot of challenges as well. Micheletto, step on up just when your team needs you the most. That's when he's at his most effective. European and world champ for a reason, at just 21 years old. It's a crazy journey he's on. Touch off the outside hand? I don't think so. Good decision to block the angle and see if Bednarz can hit over the left shoulder, facing cross and hitting the line. The answer was no. Micheletto 21. This is a great comeback again. Rifle of a serve from Micheletto. 3 up in the block for Trentino. Micheletto now sweeping up the backcourt, playing for the slow touch. Leveille looking for the touch. Sorry, tip over the top, wide and fast, through the block this time. And have a look at the fist-clenching celebration from Bednarz. Hammer and tongs here in the quarterfinal of the Champions League. Didn't miss this time. Man who's played in China, Russia, and now Poland this season. Borashkin barking his orders at 35 years old. 3-time the best blocker in the Champions League, but he's never won it. He knows this is a big chance for Trentino, but the service pressure is through the roof here. A hug from Kazmarek to Bartosz Bednarz. And the libero beaten again, Lorenzano. Battered and bruised, but needs to pick himself up quickly. Samalevu finding a way back for his team. Bartosz Bednarz. Another ace! In big moments, you need big players to come through. And that's exactly what Bartosz Bednarz was brought to Zaksa to do. Maybe they were lacking a little bit of firepower on the wing, but not anymore. Bednarz again, third time, overpass. A joust and a bump set back to the outside, away from the body, but that one misses out as well from, well, the man who served an ace, Javornik, in the last set. It won't be glory twice for him, 3 up. Blockers pulling the hands away. And missing the hands, 25-21. We go to a 5th and final set, because that is what this tie deserves. Well, some highlights of a game that is delivering just like we thought it would. Well, we did say at the top of the show that this would be a game that would keep Trentino's fans and Zaksa fans biting their fingernails to the very last moment. But for the neutral, it would be incredibly entertaining. And that is certainly the case. We are in an absolute battle of the ages, because that's just what happens when two of the best teams in the world meet. It's an occasion fit for a final. The last two finals of the Champions League, to be exact. Now we get 2 legs of this fantastic matchup between Zaksa and Trentino. The first one going to a 5th. Well, 4 kill blocks in that 4-set victory, as we have a look at the confirmation once again. 25-21. Who are you going for in set 5? Is it going to be Lavia getting a lot of the ball again? Is Micheletto going to grow into the game, just like we saw at the end of set 4? He seemed a little bit quiet compared to what we've seen previously. And then on the Zaksa side of things, Bartosz Bednarz went quiet, but then that serving run at the end to conquer Trentino's of winning in 4 was on an absolute another level. Will the Serbian legend middles from Trentino run this game like we know they can? That serving Slivka again to the line. We've seen that plenty of times, and the great thing here is that this chess match is outstanding to watch because, well, Janusz decides to go to the middle this time, as every other time we've seen him try and flip the ball back to Kazmarek. He just goes to David Smith. Just stays high, doesn't choose an angle, just says if I stay high, I could get lucky, and it's not lucky, it's very good. Big service pressure. Good start here in the race to 15 points. One-on-one on the outside. You'd put your house on Bartosz Bednarz to deliver the goods there. And the passing once more. Could be another nail in the coffin for Trentino. Dvornok is in here for Trentino. For Lavia. Micheletto staying on the outside. What an outrageous thing that is. Can you hit yourself out of system? No. Absolutely. Well, hang on a moment. Let's go. Referee's trying to take some control here. Coaches are at it too. Feisty counter as we have another look. High swing. Off the outside hand. Antenna, net, I don't see any problem. I don't see that Micheletto was on the net, so I don't see any problem with the antenna as gloves are off again here. But overall, Trentino have been better at the net with 51 attacks. 11 kill blocks from Zaksa to Trentino's 6. 8 aces from Trentino, 26 errors apiece. Nothing between them really. Really aware, Slivka. Still no answer here. And everyone's wondering what fight the crack is here, where the situation, I think everyone... Technical issue here is still struggling to find a solution.
No. You start, you ask it, so like net fault from them. There was no net fault, there was no foot fault. Go please.
No net fault, no foot fault.
We have to tell you which fault, because we made challenge to go into action during, because we have to go during the action.
No, that was fault, but coach, no, but the coach has, but now then, okay, now guys, please shake hands, let's continue. Not forget, there is no more complaint, no more, because was no.
There's a few things here. Whether Slivka thinks he's got his way or not, they have to make sure, Zaksa, that they don't get too emotionally attached here, because otherwise their performance could decline. And have a look, there is a net touch on the arm. My word of Kaczynski, okay. It's taken a long time to see this. And finally Zaksa do get the decision, but it was slightly long-winded to get there. Tomas Samaleva has done his job. Kaczynski says, okay, you found me out, I was guilty, there's no complaints from that man. And now what's going to happen? Who knows? But we can't wait to find out. Zaksa lead 3-0, timeout from Trentino. Kaczynski wasn't giving anything away there until he was found out. It took a while to be found out, but now Lorenzetti gets the troops in to try and fire them up a little bit. They've been down already in set 2 and 3 early doors. Remember they led in actually set 4, so maybe it actually works a little bit better for them when backs are against the wall as we have another look at that last play. And just there on the way down. The problem was that it was the phase of play previously, and Zaksa couldn't pull for the challenge quick enough until the point had really finished. Our point so far, Kaczmarek's on 21, 17 for Med. A good share of the profits there for Trentino. 18 for KŁDZIERZYN, 13 for Micheletto, 15 for Lavia. As well, the wheels on the bus are falling off of this performance. For Trentino, and it's all come from the pass really more than anything. Another block, and KŁDZIERZYN out of rhythm, out of system, didn't have a lot of options when there's a 3-man wall in front of him. Zaksa now lead by 5. This game just goes one way and then the other and back again. Who knows, Trentino could come back and win this 15-5 yet with how bizarre this game is getting. Well, back underway. Trentino not having the best starts to set 5, but it's not about this, about how they try and find a way to finish, and at least they have the service pressure with the likes of KŁDZIERZYN, Spatoli, Dvornik, who's now on for Lavia. Maybe he's run out of gas in this 5th set, but pretty consistent. Oh, one out the back. And all these small things at the moment going Zaksa's way, and it's already looking like a mountain to climb for KŁDZIERZYN and Trentino. I mean, that's an unbelievable rip, isn't it? Just slightly out, but hit the seam. Kaczmarek next up knows what it takes to go the whole way in this competition. So you're having to try to drag that one back into court, and it's a great play, really, to bring Micheletto in 3 or 4 meters, because then he can stay high, and the block's always trying to drift to get into his view. KŁDZIERZYN looks a little bit sad about that one, but he can be very happy with how he's contributed so far. But they need some big plays. Micheletto certainly the man to maybe bring some success from the service line, but they go to the middle. Janusz at the ideal time had the opportunity with a great pass to feed KŁDZIERZYN. And a little bit late from Podrashinin, because I think he was looking to release to the wings. Slivka, the man on the outside who's seen a fair amount of ball this evening. 7-2. Out of system again, unfortunately. This has happened too often. No. In the last 2 sets, the pass is off the net. Too much pressure. Gabriele Lorenzano just under the pump a little bit there, where Trentino have found their pass. They found their serving. Zaksa have found their pass, found their serving, and well, there's been a few hairy moments in this game, to say the least. who were thankful for his run of to the back at set 4. That run, certainly a key moment in this game. Pass from Shoji, again on the money. Javornik making impressions off the bench once more, scored 10 in this fixture earlier on in the season, drops his hands inside, gets rewarded nicely. And now the serves start coming, interesting, but you have to say Zaksa have found their service reception and their serve at the perfect time. Janusz running this game so nicely. Liznach looking to go to the outside, leaving a one-on-one on the 10 attack. Kazmarek again just looking at finding the line. Spatoli off the net, back to the middle. It's fiddle back from Spatoli, who's had a good game, but he hasn't quite had the passing consistent. Middle from 3 meters off Spatoli. Hammering the front court receiver. Good scoop. Interesting, because at the start of set 4 you thought Spatoli was running his game perfect, but Slivka, Shoji have all found their passing range in this set. And now it's an incredibly long way back for Trentino. Great responsibility from Lorenzano stepping in and digging that one, but it's another play a little bit out of rhythm, so in those situations it's great for Kaczynski just to speed up the tempo of his arm to try and beat the blocker. Ball speed certainly wasn't doing a lot of that for him, and the speeded arm beats the speed of the blocker's hands. So Nicoletto off the hands. Interesting. A break at this point gives them just a little bit of hope. It wasn't like Trentino did a lot wrong. That Slivka pass was, well, class. Javornik. We've seen him ace one in set 3. We see him put Zaksa under pressure. And maybe there's another twist and turn in this one. Can you actually believe what you're seeing right now? From 5-0, from 10-5. Kaczynski's getting involved again with the referee. He's had his fair share of arguments with him this evening. Tomas Samalevo is saying, let's get the boys in and try and break up this onslaught from Trentino. Ronick is having an absolute field day from the service line. Zaksa might not have too much confidence in these situations, knowing that they've already lost to Trentino this year twice. But they have a lot of fire on the front court. They have Slivka on the back. They have Bednarz as the front court receiver. But to become the champions of the Champions League, you've got to fire under pressure. And they do fire under pressure. My mistake, Slivka on the back court. Well, through the right side in the end, turns one back line. Beautiful bit of work. gets past pretty tight. And they get it stuffed right back down. By their face. 13-9 now. And the Zaksa fans are loud and proud as another pass goes astray. Micheletto makes the most of the situation. Again, no look, fade away. Block just diving in on his more powerful angle. Match point now for Zaksa for a little bit of revenge. Oh, what a play! Spatoli! We've seen some outstanding digs from him today. And now he has a point next to his name as well. Might be the last point that he plays as Gabriele Anelli comes back in. Something we saw in the first 2 sets. Second match point for Zaksa. They've done it the difficult way after starting well. It's another brilliant recovery. Free ball, free swing forward. Shoji, good pass into a good zone through the middle. And Zaksa have taken the opening leg of the Champions League quarter-final. The fans are enjoying it. They had to come from 2-1 down after a fabulous start. Winning the opening set, they surrendered a lead in set number 2. But as the game continued, their pass and serve increased and impressed. And the opposite happened to Trentino. Now we head to Trento next week to see who will go to the semis. Will Trentino be disappointed? I don't think so. If they from this evening through to semi-finals.
was an emotional game. Congratulations for your winning. I know that it's hard to say something after this game, a few minutes after this game, but can you tell me, what do you feel now after winning against Trento?
I feel so happy, but this is first step. This is just first step. We won 3-2. It was great game. It was great atmosphere on the hall, but it's a long way to be in semi-final. So now we are happy, but we have to think that there in Trento it will be more difficult how it was here.
Thank you so much. Congratulations one more time.
Delighted, and rightfully so. A big evening for Zaksa as they 3 in a row in Champions League titles, having been the first ever Polish team to do it. As there's the confirmation of the score. 4 opponent errors for Trentino as they went down 15-10. Remember, 5-0 service pressure for Zaksa. They were looking down the barrel of a defeat. Italy's pulled it back. Then in the final. What a great evening of Champions League volleyball comes to an end. I know that next week we'll be back. Will Zaksa travel to Trentino? The job